Welcome back to part 2 of 3, and the reason it's like this is because I've tried to load up videos longer than 15 minutes on YouTube and I can't. And when I've looked into it, it says I have to verify the account, which I have done. I've done all this and I still can't load videos longer than that. So for this moment in time, the videos, whatever length they'll be, they'll be in 2 parts or possibly 3 parts. So that's why this is as it is. So anybody, any computer whizzes out there, or anybody who knows about these things, you could leave a comment for me to see if I can improve it. So that's that. Now in the meantime, I've gone ahead and I've glued these ribs on because I figure there's enough videos out there of people bending ribs. So I'll throw a few little clips in. You can see me actually bending the ribs, but I'm not going to do a full description of it. But this is masking tape here, and that was on there so that when I glued these ribs on, any glue that might leak out wouldn't stick the rib to the mould. So that's that. And also this was glued together with the cold tight bond glue, and the reason for that is, well, there's 2 reasons, but the first one was I had a glue pot. I have had it many years. When I plugged it in this time, it had stopped working. I've checked the fuse and everything else, and that was fine. So I figured it was probably a loose wire inside. When I started to take it apart, I know that I saw that it was full of asbestos. It was asbestos lined. So not messing with asbestos. So I put it back together again and I bothered with it. And in the meantime, excuse me, I went out. You can see that. Excuse me. I bought a little hot plate, and on there is the usual thing. Excuse me. There's a pan, and in the pan, obviously I've got a glass jar with the glue in, and in the bottom of the pan I've got glass beads, because I was just thinking that with the glass jar directly in contact with the metal, I wasn't sure whether it would crack or not, so I had some glass beads knocking around. So that's that. So what happened with this is I made a second mould, you see, because you can see, yeah, because I'm going to have 2 violins going at the same time, and the original one there I drilled holes in for the clamps. I did find that a bit awkward myself, so what I've done, as you can see with this one, I've just cut that out there. It's easier access, and it hasn't affected the strength of it. That's just perfectly, it's fine. So that just makes easier access for the clamps. And this fiddle will be glued together with hot glue. So I've written on there Mark 1 and Mark 2. So Mark 2 will be cold hide, Mark 1 will be hot hide. And then when they're both finished and strung up, we'll see. I would imagine the strength is the same, but it's just a little experiment to see how that works out. So that's the next phase then. So I'll finish this, and then yeah, then we'll go on to the next phase. And that, I'll just bend that slightly. That I will say is probably, so here we have the Mark 1 mould, and this is the hot hide glue violin, and as you can see the C-bout ribs have been fitted and they're glued in place with the hot hide glue, and when that glue's gone off I shall then put the top and bottom ribs on. And if we move over here, you can see they're the top ribs and they've been fitted, and there's the bottom ribs, and they will then be fitted onto here. So that is now as far as I can go with that today. So I'll now move on to the Mark II mould, which is the cold hide glue fiddle, and I shall fit the linings on. So that'll be the next clip. Right, I'm now going to do the linings, and these are cut from the spare bits of wood, and at the moment they're about 2.5mm thick, and they need reducing down to 2mm. So it's just a case of a sharp block plane, put it over like that, turn it round, and then we check it again, and that's 2.1, slightly thicker at that end. Yep, so just take another little bit off there, and that is just under 2mm, so that'll now ready to be steam bent and put down there. And something that may be of interest to you, to get the lengths, when I cut all these linings, to get the correct length, you can measure it, but what I did, I just took a piece of card like that, and then I wrapped that round. This short one, the C-back one, I just wrapped it round and put a pencil mark on, and then that one's the lower bout, so from there to there is the length of the lower bout, and the upper bout is from there to there. Once again, just held it at the centre joint and wrapped it round and put a pencil mark on, and then when it came to cut the linings, which was spare light, you could just put that on the line like that, mark it and cut it off. Saves using a tape measure. So you may find that of interest. So I shall now continue with these linings. And that's it now with the linings in place. They've been glued on with the hot glue. I'll leave that overnight to go off, clean it off, and then the next stage then will be to mark out the back and cut it out. So that'll be phase 4. So this is phase 3 now complete. Now some of you may have noticed I've made a mistake, and the mistake is that this is the number 2 mould and this is the cold hide glue fiddle. But when I was putting the linings on, because I had the hot hide glue behind me, without thinking, I put hot hide glue on the linings. So that's how it is. So that's the end of video. This is the end of now of video 3. The next one will be video 4, and that'll involve because what I'll do when I'm off camera, I'll finish the these ribs on mould number 1, and I'll put the linings round, and I'll get both fiddles up to the next stage where it'll be to mark the backs out and cut the back. So that'll be the next stage. In the meantime, behind the scenes, as well as practice on the fiddle, I'm doing scales now. I was eager to make a start on a neck, so I started on this, and it's very early stages, as you can see. I've started on the scroll, and it's, well, you can see there's the flute. I've just made a start on the flute. That's what I've been doing. What I have found though is this hook is very, very, very brittle indeed. And even though the chisels are razor sharp, the slightest thing and it chips out. So what I may do is, if I soak this in water, the water will help to keep the timber together, so it'll chip less. I've done that in the past. Or the other alternative is to mix up a very thin mix of varnish, say with a lot of spirit in, a thin coat, and that'll help to help stick it together. Because like I say, the slightest thing and it chips out. But that's a start on. This is one neck. Obviously, if I'm making the second fiddle, I'll have a second neck to carve. But so that's what's been going on behind the scenes, and that brings us to the end, as I said. Once again, as I said earlier on, I've verified the account with YouTube and still can't load these longer videos up. So, like I say, we'll persevere with that. And if you've got anybody knows if you had a similar problem and you verified your account and it wouldn't let you load your videos up, and then you managed to do, let me know what you did. So that's that, and I'll have another drink. And that's my famous mug that went round America. And that's it for now, so I shall see you in the next video. So bye, and a thumbs up.